we achieved significantly higher production in the second quarter of 2026 than we did in the first quarter. In the first quarter, we did about 14,700 ounces. In the second quarter, we did about 17,400 ounces. So a fairly significant increase, and that was largely due to the improvement in grade.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Caledonia Mining CEO Mark Learmonth. Mark, very good to speak with you. Could you tell us what the key points are from this morning's press release, please?
Yeah, well, the key thing is that we achieved significantly higher production in the second quarter of 2026 than we did in the first quarter. In the first quarter, we did about 14,700 ounces. In the second quarter, we did about 17,400 ounces. So a fairly significant increase, and that was largely due to the improvement in grade, which we'd said would happen, but it's always nice that it turns out the way we said it would do.
Well, why has the grade gone up, Mark?
A couple of reasons, really. The first is that we've successfully continued our development to regain access to higher grade areas. As we indicated last year, we had two fall of ground incidents, one in July, one in September last year, which closed us out of some relatively high volume, high grade areas. And we've had to work quite hard to get back into those areas. So that development is now paying off. We've got a contractor doing development to get us back into those areas, and we'll continue with that program to get ourselves even further ahead to give us more flexibility in the future. So the first is development, and the second is that over the past few years we've spent quite a lot of time and some money updating our IT systems relating to mineral resource management, and we're now able to control our mining activities and monitor our mining activities much more tightly than we were previously. So it's an improvement. It's really development and tighter mining controls.
Mark, why do you believe you can achieve this higher production target in the second half of the year?
Well, you're quite right. The guidance for the year is it's about 72 to 76,000 ounces. So we did about 32 in the first half. So even to achieve the bottom end of that guidance implies that we need to do 40,000 ounces for the remainder of the year, which is pushing it for Blanket. I mean, Blanket's never really run at that level before. We're confident about it for a few reasons. The first is we've upgraded our crushing circuit. We commissioned a new ball mill in June, which means that we can put a little bit more through the plant. Also, we are confident that the grades will continue about the current level of about 3 grams a ton. We introduced a new shift system in June. So the mine is currently working 7 days a week instead of 6 days a week, which increases the run of mine production. So just the basic business, we're confident we'll achieve that run rate of just over 20,000 ounces a quarter. But in addition to that, there's a couple of other interesting developments which should build on that. The first is that we, in the ordinary course of business, accumulate what I call activated carbon from the CIL process. We've got about 30 tons of this stuff, which the elution plant currently can't process. About 30 tons of this stuff at a grade of 700 grams a ton. We will be finalizing the commissioning of a new vessel in the elution plant in August, and that should allow us to release that gold over the remainder of the year, sort of September, October, November, December. So that should give us another 1,500 ounces. And then the other thing is that, as I mentioned, we introduced a new shift system, so the mine's now working 7 days a week, not 6 days a week. And we can we have another little metallurgical plant at a shaft a few hundred meters away called Lima. That's currently being used for R&D to evaluate alternative processing technologies. But we can repurpose that and actually use that to process about 200 tons a day of run-of-mine material, again, from about September onwards. So again, that should give us another 1,500 ounces as well. So all of those together, improved performance from the core operation, plus 1,500 ounces coming out of the activated carbon, and another 1,500 coming out of the Lima plant, gives us a high degree of confidence that the full year target is achievable. And it does mean that the expectation is that production in Q3 and Q4 will be significantly higher than it has been previously. So it's going to be a very strong end to the year and a very good platform into 2027.
Mark, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
Mark Learmonth, the CEO of Caledonia Mining.